And now to the pandemic. As cases of the Omicron subvariant BA.2 are on the rise in the U.S., the CDC says today that they now make up a majority of new cases and more than 90% in the Northeast. And in China, the 25 million residents of Shanghai are still in lockdown as the commercial hub of the country is paralyzed once again by a major Omicron surge. As residents struggle with renewed restrictions, the city's shutdown is also having a wide impact on the global economy. ABC's Britt Clennett reports in from Hong Kong tonight.
2 years into the pandemic and China is facing its worst outbreak yet. The streets of Shanghai eerily empty as 25 million residents are forced to remain in strict lockdown with no end in sight. This despite no reported deaths. The government now forced to deliver groceries to some of its residents.
So my supplies are extremely scarce. I still have some cereals left, not much, but some fruits. I only have this lemon.
The severe curbs testing patients, social stability, and as experts warn, are harming China's economy and the global supply chain.
We are seeing shutdowns within the region, which we know could cause delays. It is something we are closely monitoring.
In March, as Omicron snuck into this financial, commercial and shipping capital, Shanghai, once seen as China's shining model of COVID control, had vowed not to lock down. But as cases surged, the Chinese government's no-tolerance zero-COVID approach returned to the city in full force. At night, frustrated residents calling out to their neighbours. Drones fly in between compounds, blasting a summons for residents to get tested. Shanghai resident Jamie Peñalosa sent this video to ABC News of her entire apartment complex leaving for the first time in days as she was about to crawl into bed.
We just had to wait for a blaring loudspeaker coming outside of our window saying, everybody get down right now, get tested right now.
Jamie describing the surreal scenes on her normally lively street.
Everyone just kind of very calmly gliding over there. That did feel kind of very apocalyptic and strange.
Jamie, finishing her test, spots a bus waiting.
And my heart sank. We all knew those were the buses coming to get people to the quarantine central sites.
In China, every positive case needs to be isolated in government facility or hospital. There's no staying at home.
There are no showers here, and we're not allowed to receive any parcels from the outside world.
In this viral video of a Shanghai hospital from earlier in lockdown, a ward full of toddlers cry, separated from their parents after testing positive for COVID. The uproar causing authorities to relax some rules. The US State Department is now advising Americans to reconsider travel to China, ordering some consulate staff to leave. The US pointing to arbitrary enforcement measures, including the risk of parents and children being separated. China responding, calling its COVID policies science-based and effective, and slamming what it described as the US's groundless accusations. But after this nearly 2-week lockdown, the number of positive infections in the city still reached over 26,000, only 1,000 of those showing symptoms, and still no reported COVID deaths.
Well, there are signs that it's becoming increasingly difficult to implement that policy, right? The social economic cost is rising rapidly and exponentially.
The economic strain apparent, with truck drivers prevented from taking goods to major shipping ports in Shanghai, the latest blockage in the global supply chain hitting American companies from Apple to Tesla as factories are unmanned. Experts warn continuous lockdowns could see the world's second biggest economy suffer longer-term damage.
We know that Shanghai contributes 1/4 of China's GDP, but when other countries now learning to coexist with the virus, China's the export sector will be affected.
So you're saying it could impact China's global competitiveness?
Absolutely.
The large southern port city of Guangzhou immediately ordered massive testing of its 18 million residents after detecting just 3 positive cases last Friday.
The response was heavy-handed.
But China stands by the strategy.
肯定不是中国的选择。
Analysts predict that China won't pivot to the US mindset of coexisting with the virus until 2023, in the hopes of helping President Xi Jinping secure an unprecedented third term. This week, Shanghai did begin easing some restrictions in low-risk areas, but with the warning that lockdowns can snap back in place if cases are detected again.
One person can test positive, and that just sets the score back to 0.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.